The Launchkey Mark III can act as a general-purpose MIDI controller for Logic, Reason, as well as a range of other DAWs, even using QE like ProTools, Cubase, Studio One, etc. All the standalone features the Launchkey Mini Mark III offer can be utilized in all DAWs that accept MIDI messages, which is pretty much all of them. In Apple Logic Pro X, your Launchkey can serve as a controller for many tasks. For example, in session mode, which is accessed by holding down Shift and pressing the session pad, the top row of pads toggle the record arm of the relevant tracks, and the bottom row toggle the mute tracks. Or you can even solo tracks. Now taking a look at the knobs, if we were to go into device mode by holding down Shift and hitting the device pad, this links the top pots to the parameters or smart controls of the device of the selected track. For instrument tracks, this is the parameter array of the instruments. For example, here's a track containing a classic electric piano. The Launchkey's 8 pots control a variety of important parameters including bell volume, treble, drive, and so on. We can even use these knobs to control the different volumes, pans, and even the sends for bus A and bus B. To navigate through different tracks within a project, press and hold Shift, and then either use the ARP button or the fixed chord button. See the little arrows? This will select the track before or after the current track. Doing so will also automatically arm the newly selected track. Let's go to Boutique 78. Holding down Shift, I can go back a couple tracks, and now if I hit Shift, I can go into drum mode. This allows you to use the Launchkey Mini's velocity sensitive pads for Logic's drum instruments. And last but not least, transport controls. Pressing play will play your project, and pressing record will turn on Logic Pro X's record button. After setting up your Launchkey Mini Mark III to work with Reason, you'll be able to use the 8 knobs to automatically control useful parameters. Of course, which parameters the knobs control vary by instrument. For example, we have a Europa loaded up. I got some filter, some resonance, and so on. Navigating through Reason is as easy as holding Shift and pressing ARP or fixed chord. This will select the track below or above the current track. Doing so will also automatically arm the newly selected Reason track. You can also browse instrument presets by holding down Shift and using these 2 buttons over here on the right. Now onto Studio One, Cubase, ProTools, and all the other Huey-based DAWs. Here is Studio One. On top of the Launchkey Mini standalone features, you can utilize the knobs to take control of your DAW. For example, in volume, we have control over our volumes for each independent track. If we go over to pans, we can pan each track. And if we go to sends, we can control the effects sends. Holding down Shift under sends, we have access to both Effects 1 and Effects 2. The same can be said about Cubase, Studio One, and other DAWs mentioned earlier. For more info on what Launchkey Mini features work with which DAW, visit novationmusic.com.